So I am up really early on this Saturday morning, getting ready to do a project in my kitchen that I've been putting off for a while. And only because it's been a wild ride, literally, since I returned to work after having the baby. So I've had these materials laying around in the kitchen for like a month, and I said I was going to get up really early just to do some household chores. So I am going to be reorganizing my kitchen freezer and fridge. Now that I have the baby and she's here, I'm nursing and pumping and expressing milk. I want to make sure my freezer is organized and I have a deliberate place to actually store all the milk, and that is sanitary. And right now it's just literally thrown in there. So I'm going to take advantage of the time while the baby is sleeping. I got her on our little monitor. My little girl fell asleep on the couch watching her movies last night. So she's sleeping in the living room. And my husband got up like really early. His alarm was going off at 5:30 a.m. I'm like, dude, turn your alarm off. It's Saturday. Because he has to go to the barber shop. And I know this is not what this video is about, but I just have to tell y'all that. He has to go to the barber shop, and if he goes to the barber shop, he has to get there in line in his car before the other men do, because his barber is so popular. So shout out to Premier Barber in Mount Holly, New Jersey. So they literally get out there before the sun comes up and wait for him to come. So while he's there and baby's sleeping, and Ailani's sleeping in the living room, I'm gonna get started. And just that quick, baby is waking up. Her big sister just went upstairs to give her a pacifier to see if she would go back to sleep. So we'll see. Here is my refrigerator freezer. I don't know which brand this is. I've had it for about 8 years now, so it's fairly old, I guess, if that's old for a fridge. So I don't really prefer this style of fridge. When it is time to get a new one, I'll probably get something different, because I just don't like that there's not very much space to store anything. And the drawers to my fridge literally broke like within the first month of me having this refrigerator. So that was annoying. So as you can see, everything is just thrown in there like there's no rhyme or reason, which I don't really like. I don't like to dig for things, and I find that if I have a home for things in the house, my husband and daughter are more apt to use the home, and things won't get thrown in here like this. So I want my freezer to be more organized and sanitary for the collection of the baby's milk that needs to be stored. So it's fairly empty because we just came off a 21-day or coming off a 21-day fast. So there's not very much meats and veggies and stuff, which is generally what we normally keep in here, except for what my husband just got from BJ's yesterday because he went there. So that is my freezer, and this is my fridge, which again, I normally keep the fridge clean. So I'll tell you a little bit about what I have down here just in lieu of the drawers, but here's the before. So here are the items that I'm going to be using in this video, including that baby pillow, because the baby seems like she doesn't want to go to sleep for very long. So I actually am going to be using these items that I picked up from my local Dollar Tree. These things came from Dollar Tree, and I picked up this set of glass jars from Target. They were on the clearance rack, which I'm using some of them in other places. I have my label maker, my Sharpies, and my cleaning supplies, natural cleaning supplies that I'm using right now. And I have a bowl so for my hot water, so I don't have to keep running back and forth to the sink. The freezer is now cleared out, and a lot of grossness going on, especially in that drawer. That is disgusting. And a lot of things got thrown in the trash. And we have some guest appearances. Joy and Faye. So I have everything out on the counter. Now I'm going to begin to clean out the grossness inside of the freezer. saw Ailani's face when I asked her to bring me the lemongrass essential oil, and then I put some in the drain. Oh, you should see her face. So I saw another YouTuber do this. I can't stop laughing. Your face was crazy. I saw another YouTuber do this. She takes her essential oils, and when she's done washing the dishes, she pours it in her drain, and she says that it makes her kitchen smell good. So I figured I would try it today to see if I actually notice a difference. But what were you thinking when you saw me do that?
I was like, it's just gonna fall right down.
But I actually smell it already, don't you?
Yeah.
It does smell good. So we'll see how long it lasts, and if it's really worth putting your expensive essential oils down the drain. So I'm gonna let you know. But I really love the YouTuber. I can't think of her name right now, but I will plug it in here. I really love her channel. I watch it while I clean sometimes. So we're gonna see if this actually really, really works. Does it just fade? Is it just a waste of your expensive essential oils? But that was funny. How often do you clean the inside of your freezer? So now I'm just going to put all the clean items back in and figure out how I want to arrange them and what I want to put inside of them, and decide if I want to keep the broken drawer that's in here. So I'm gonna do that now. When our fruit is like almost like overripe, what I like to do is put it in the freezer for smoothies, and also if I juice, I might keep the pulp for smoothies sometimes. So I only have one of these, so I feel like I want to run back down to the dollar store to get a few more of these, because I have frozen bananas, I have frozen blueberries, and then I have some pulp, and I can easily just keep it in these containers. So I might run down to the dollar store, and hopefully my dollar store has more of these, because I really want to, use these instead of the Ziploc bags. It'd be more sustainable anyway. So what I'm trying to do now is figure out how to arrange the breast milk, pumped breast milk in the bags, and these things I picked up from Dollar Tree. What I have been doing is just marking how much milk is in the bag. I was not putting the date because I felt like I was going to have to use it immediately since I was going back to work, but that hasn't been the case. So now, in addition to me circling how much milk is in the bag, I am going to start putting the date, so just to make sure I use it in time. And a tip I saw on Pinterest is to get the milk to freeze like this, like laid down in the package so that it stacks nice and easily, and whatever it is you're trying to store it in, is to lay it flat in the freezer and let it freeze, and then everything will stand up nice and neatly inside of whatever you choose to store it in. So that's what I'm getting ready to do right now, is just arrange all these frozen bags of milk. Which shouldn't be that bad, because I try to clean this like every week or every 2 weeks. So we're gonna do that now, and hopefully during the video she'll fall asleep, because she's sleepy. She never finished her nap. Right, booby? Right. So before I had the baby, I was looking up different foods for anti-inflammatory purposes and also just foods for medicinal purposes because I don't really like to take a lot of medicines. So these are pitted dates. So I try to pack 2 or 3 pitted dates and at least 20 almonds every day to help with not only my milk production, but also pitted dates have so many different medicinal uses. If you look on my channel here, I have a playlist of videos that tell you the benefits of eating certain foods. So dates is one of those, and I get these fresh from our produce market for $2.25 for this big container. So something else I have been doing here as of late is, and I'm trying to get in my family in the habit of doing it as well, is that when you think of something that we need or that you just use the last of, to like write a list here, because we're really serious about paying down our debt, and our only debt we really have is student loans in our home. So we're really serious about paying our debt. So I no longer want to keep just like buying random stuff because I think we need it. Like I really want to see us put in large sums of money each month towards our debt. So I want to avoid buying things that I don't really need at the moment. So we've been trying to do our shopping trips differently, which maybe I'll highlight in a different video. So that's just another tip, to just stop just buying stuff randomly on your shopping trip, that when you think of that you need it and you're actually out, just write it down. We have quite a few things that we're going to have to shop for this weekend. But this tip will help you to avoid just buying random stuff at the grocery store that you really didn't even need for the month. So for those of you who were wondering why I was wearing her even though she was already asleep, this is the reason why. Because as soon as I put her down, she knows she's no longer snuggled next to mommy, and she wakes up, and then I'm no longer able to get things done. So normally I try to keep her in the Moby wrap for as long as possible, even if she's sleeping, so that I can get more stuff done. And with everything we've been through recently, she can use the extra cuddles from her mommy. So no, I'm not going to put her down if I don't want to. Right? So I need the extra cuddles from my mommy. So it's the next day, and after our family grocery shopping trip and a little bit of food prep, so I'm going to show you the finished freezer and refrigerator. So I guess I will start with the freezer, since that was the project I really wanted to take on this weekend. So here is the after of the little containers from my favorite store, Easily, which is the Dollar Tree. And I went a little bit, overboard, as I tend to do with my label maker, because I like for everything to be labeled. And what I find that if things are labeled in my home, whether it be the kitchen, the bathroom, or bedrooms, And I even do this in my classroom, is that if things are labeled, then people will get that I want you to put it back where you got it from, okay? So in this bin up here, I have pulp for smoothies. Sometimes I do some juicing, and then the leftovers, I guess it's like pulp, that's what I'm calling it. The leftovers from the smoothies, I like to, the leftovers from the juicing, I like to put in smoothies. I don't want to throw it away, and it's still nutritious. So when your fruit tends to get a little bit more ripe than you like it, instead of throwing it out, you can put it in containers and use it in smoothies as well. So I also have these from the Dollar Tree, and right now there's just bananas and blueberries in there, and I have a few more of these for room to grow. So here we have our frozen vegetables, as we do a lot of frozen vegetables. And if you, not even if you're vegan or you don't eat meat, because I'm pescatarian, but these veggie burgers, black bean burgers, are the best. I get these from BJ's, by the way. So my husband and daughter are like creatures of habit. Like, they mainly only eat ground turkey and chicken breast, so that's what that is. Down bottom here is, you know how when you open up a package of meat and then you don't want to cook it all? So I made a bin where they would wrap their meats and just plop them in there, instead of like all over the freezer, and then you don't know what you still have left to cook. So I think that's gonna really help us really understand what we really have in the freezer. So down here is my new baby milk, breast milk storage system that I kind of thought up. There's a lot of different ways that you can do this. I even saw on Pinterest, like, instead of using these, you can use like an old cardboard soda can box, but we don't drink soda. So I was like, ooh, we can use these. And I just picked these up from the Dollar Tree. I have these all over my classroom. So to get the milk to stand up like this, after you pour it in the breast milk storage bags, what you would do is just lay it flat so that it will freeze, so that you can stand it up and then organize it all in here. So I organized this to use this first, and then new milkies, as we call it in our house, milkies. Gotta have the milkies. So that any fresh milk that I just pumped and put in the bag will go in here, and then as it's in there for a while, we can move it over. I wasn't labeling it with dates, but from moving on forward, I probably will do that. Down bottom is just some fruit that we have from smoothies. And then over here in the door, like, sometimes I drink a lot of water, and if I'm not done drinking a water bottle and it's just sitting there, I'll pop it in the freezer, and then I'll put it in my lunch box as like an ice pack, and I'll drink it during lunch because it'll be like defrosted by then. Then all the ice packs for our lunch box and for Ailani's owies, for Ailani's boo-boos or bruises from gymnastics are over here, and then just some soups that will be taken for lunch. So that is the finished product of the freezer using my Dollar Tree items. So here's our fridge, which really not much here. Like I told you earlier, I try to like clean out the refrigerator every week or bi-weekly, just because I noticed that, if you don't, it's gonna be gross in there. So this is the refrigerator, nice and organized. As I told you earlier, like, literally all of the drawers in this refrigerator broke like within like the first month. So here's how I use the bins that I picked up from Aldi's for our produce down there. And then I have this shelf that I picked up from Aldi's to make more space, because if I had it to do all over again, I probably would not buy this refrigerator, because I just don't like how crammed everything is. So if you have a tip for how you like to store your things in a refrigerator, please comment down below. Or if you have any questions about storage, organization, momming, education, health, writing, that's what this YouTube channel is all about. Please help me reach my goal of reaching 500 subscribers. Stop laughing at me.